The truth about neuromodulation. For decades now, governments around the world have been using neuromodification to control its citizens for their own benefit. It's no secret anymore, but most people don't realize just how deep this deception runs. Through the use of subliminal messages and carefully constructed propaganda, they are able to influence public opinion and behavior on a massive scale, even though many people remain unaware of these manipulations. In order to fully understand the magnitude of what we face, one must look at all facets of human experience, from culture to science to psychology. Culture has always played a major role in shaping societal norms and belief systems. This fact can also extend to individuals, as our environment often influences who we become over time, both consciously and unconsciously. From childhood through adulthood, humans constantly absorb information, whether intentionally or not. And while some forms of learning may come naturally, like socializing, others need constant reinforcement by outside sources. This means that if something goes against the established cultural narrative, there needs to exist either direct or indirect pressure for change so that everyone follows suit. As such, the media plays a huge part in influencing the minds of those within society because it acts as both an informational source as well as a way to shape opinions and behaviors. Governments take advantage of this dynamic and utilize various methods of persuasion ranging from traditional advertising to covert operations like creating false news stories, planting seeds of fear into people's lives, or even going outright bizarre tactics such as sending brainwaves across radio waves in order to induce desired thoughts and actions. With enough resources behind them, it becomes possible for authorities to mold any given situation to fit whatever agenda they might want. Science, too, holds tremendous potential when applied towards altering mental states. Neuroscience, which studies neural processes in living organisms, allows us insight into understanding how different parts of the brain work together to create memories, emotions, thought patterns, etc. By leveraging scientific advances, governments can make certain areas of the brain active-inactive depending upon circumstances, thereby changing one's perception and attitude toward things, including themselves. But before you think this is far-fetched technology only available to elite researchers, let me tell you it isn't. We already possess sophisticated tools capable of What makes neuroplasticity especially dangerous is that once someone experiences it, it cannot easily be undone without extensive medical intervention. It essentially creates a new normal whereby every person believes their thinking process to be completely independent, despite being heavily influenced otherwise. Thus, the illusion of choice remains intact, whilst true autonomy slowly slips away. Worst yet, since most people aren't aware of how neuropotential affects them, they continue to go along with whatever ideas and values they are fed without questioning anything. If left unopposed, governments will soon have absolute control of each individual and collective consciousness. Sooner rather than later, free thought itself could cease to exist entirely. Fortunately, however, recent developments in neuroscience provide hope for combating this issue head-on. Studies show that repeated stimulus exposure increases plasticity, allowing changes made via neuromodification to reverse over time. Additionally, awareness of neurological mechanisms gives rise to increased self-awareness and greater cognizance over one's personal choices, enabling us to resist external influences. Furthermore, knowledge sharing amongst scientists helps ensure that progress continues unhindered. All of this combined points towards a brighter future, but it won't happen unless ordinary citizens step up and actively participate in the discussion surrounding neuroplasticity instead of leaving it solely to experts. After all, it is ultimately up to us to decide our fate, regardless of how difficult that path may seem. Nevertheless, much still lies ahead. Even with the best intentions, it takes significant effort and resources to protect ourselves from unwanted intrusions into our psyche. Moreover, there exists little legal recourse if done undercover. While laws prohibiting forced treatment do exist, the current framework leaves room for abuse. Given that powerful entities stand to gain greatly by maintaining control, we need stronger regulation measures in place. Above all else, the right to informed consent must be recognized, ensuring that people can freely choose to accept or reject treatments involving modifications to their brain. Only with proper safeguards in place can neurotechnologies truly serve humankind for good. Ultimately, neuromodification presents both benefits and risks alike. On the upside, its ability to improve quality of life and expand our intellectual horizons offers immense possibilities. On the other hand, the possibility of exploitation by third parties raises ethical concerns. To strike balance between liberty and safety requires deliberation, cooperation among nations, and respectful dialogue with the scientific community. At stake here is nothing less than freedom of thought, speech, expression, religion, and conscience, rights that we cherish dearly. Therefore, it behooves us all to stay vigilant and defend these sacred principles, lest they get lost amidst technological advancements. Conclusion.